winners. Let the pros show you how to make money. General Manager Al DeMarco, a regular contributor on Fox Sports, MSNBC, and Comcast Sports TV, brings over 25 years of handicapping experience to the table. CEO Steve Budin, the author of Bets, Drugs, and Rock and Roll, is the man responsible for creating the online betting industry. Together, they lead PickNation.com, your #1 source for winners.
Can Arizona, one of 3 undefeated teams here as we enter Week 4 of the NFL season, improve to a perfect 4-0 straight up and against the spread with the win and cover at home against Miami today? Can the New Orleans Saints, who would have thunk that they would be one of 2 teams still searching for their first win this season, can they break off and get a win today? At Green Bay, where the Packers are looking to rebound after getting screwed at Seattle on Monday. Hi, everyone. Al DeMarco here along with Steve Budin, and welcome to the Week 4 NFL edition of the Countdown to Kickoff program. We are proud to be joining you here once more for the 6th consecutive season as we break down all of your NFL games for a point spread perspective. I've been a sports handicapper for over 25 years. I used the experience I gained originally in my first career as a sports reporter. What I learned from being on the field around coaches, players, etc., that's really shaped my handicapping philosophy over the years, and I've won 9 of the last 10 seasons in the NFL and college football combined. Steve Budin, on the other hand, son of a bookmaker, former bookmaker himself, and really the guy that created what you now know as the offshore sports betting industry. You have a totally different perspective when we break down these games.
That's right, Al. And you use your opinion, and when I come to laying my money down on the line, I throw my opinion to the side. I use a little discipline, and I turn to my crews and my syndicates, the same guys I've been using for the last 5 years. And I got to tell you something, the Baltimore crew, which is my #1 NFL crew, started off this year already, 4 50-dime winners in a row, and you ask yourself, can they continue to win? And the answer is yes, because we've been watching them do it now for 5 years.
Absolutely. We'll talk more about the Baltimore crew in just a moment. And in fact, guys, in about 90 seconds, Steve and I are going to tell you about a brand new fantasy football league contest in conjunction with DraftStreet.com, where the winner is going to claim $300 of my money for free out of a $500 pool. We've got all the details coming up in 90 seconds. Steve, let's talk about the first game. New England taking on Buffalo. The Patriots, of course, losing in the final seconds against Baltimore on the road here on Sunday night. Meanwhile, the Bills managed to snap an 8-game road losing streak with the win at Cleveland, 24-14. Ryan Fitzpatrick, 3 touchdowns in that contest, but it was a costly win for Buffalo. NFL's leading ground gainer coming into that contest, C.J. Spiller, suffering a shoulder injury. He is out, but they may get Fred Jackson back here today. However, Tashard Choice, the washout of the Cowboys, performed admirably off the bench last week with 20 carries, 91 yards. Question here, of course, is, are the Patriots going to be ready to rebound big time after really having a win snatched from them at Baltimore on Sunday?
Yeah, I mean, I look at this line, Al, of -4, and it just, I mean, it's screaming trap to me, but I just can't understand for the life of me why New England isn't 6 or 7. I mean, to me, Buffalo is a dead piece. New England back to Wes Welker again. They must have watched the show last week where I told Belichick he needs to get him back in the offense. He has. I think that pays big dividends for New England. I like New England here, minus the points.
Welker, 8 catches, 142 yards last week at Baltimore. Tom Brady, another great game, 28 for 41, 335 yards. And you saw where Baltimore could not put any pressure at all, could not collapse the pocket on Brady, just left him back there. I know Buffalo went out. They tried to upgrade their defense, but they haven't generated much of a pass rush this season. I'm with you. It may look like a trap, but let's remember, even though the Patriots failed last week at Baltimore, this is still a team that's 21-8 against the spread after its last 29 straight-up losses. So history has certainly shown from a point spread perspective that the Patriots are the play, and plus they have dominated the series. They've won 16 of the last 17 meetings straight up, and they've gone 11-6-1 ATS in that stretch.
They own Buffalo. That's why I can't understand this line. It's just mind-boggling.
Right, and the Bills, big deal. They have 2 wins. They beat up Kansas City. They beat up Cleveland. They got drilled by the Jets. What does that tell you? And they've only covered 4 of their last 13 in AFC East division play. Steve, let's talk about the free contest we run in conjunction with DraftStreet.com. And every week you're playing against Steve and myself. It's a free fantasy football league contest that you can enter. But we've changed something this week. The prize money has gone up $300 to the winner of this contest. And the 4 runner-ups, you split up a $200 prize pool. And the best thing of all, it's a free entry. You're playing against us. You're playing among yourselves. It's at DraftStreet.com. If you're on the website watching the video right now, just click on the ads. You're putting together a team. You've got a $100,000 bankroll, and you've got to draft your players, and you've got to put together your team, couple running backs, quarterbacks, couple wide receivers, etc. But unlike the old days, Steve, of fantasy football, where you had to wait till the end of December to figure out who won the money, this contest is over after the Monday night game.
That's the key, is that this is that instant gratification, where our grandmother's game back in the day, you'd have to wait the whole year. Now it's week to week, and if you lose, you pay nothing because it's free. If you win, a guaranteed $300. The stakes are high, and here's the thing. If you entered last week, if you entered the week before, if you've been playing this contest for the last 3 years, you can enter again every single week and win that $300.
Last week, a guy by the screen name of AKA C-Dub won the contest, beat somebody else with the screen name of Nitty Gritty 77. There was a 10-point differential between first and second place. And the irony is they both drafted Robert Griffin III. They both had Michael Bush, the Bears' backup running back who saw extensive action since Matt Forte was out. They both had Jamal Charles, and what a day they got from Jamal Charles as he ran for 223 yards against the Saints last week in that overtime win. But again, this week the prize money is up, and it's a free entry, guys. It costs you nothing to play. You're matching wits with us, but best of all, you're competing for my money. $500 prize pool, $300 guaranteed to the first place finisher, and then $200 guaranteed to be split up among winners 2, 3, 4, and 5, the runner-ups, the first 4 runner-ups in the prize pool. DraftStreet.com. Check it out. Steve, next game we want to talk about is going to be Atlanta and Carolina. Falcons' dominant performance last week at San Diego, rolling to the easy 27-3 win. They are another one of the 3-0 teams here so far this season. Carolina, horrific performance. I thought Carolina would go down. I thought the Giants were the play in that Thursday night contest. After the game, Cam Newton sulking, criticized by their wide receiver Steve Smith. When one of your teammates calls you out for your performance and because of your sullen attitude afterwards, there's trouble brewing in this Carolina locker room.
Yeah, well, to use the words of the infamous Eminem, will the real Cam Newton please stand up? Please stand up, because I don't know who this guy in there is. It certainly isn't the Cam Newton that we saw last year. In fact, Al, when we started the season, I remember saying right at this desk that this year one of the themes was that I've never seen this many elite quarterbacks in the league in one season. But now I'm going to add to that, I've never seen this many elite quarterbacks play like garbage in one season. Cam Newton, one of them, but the bigger problem is they can't rush the passer. And if you don't rush Matty Ice, he's going to pick you apart all day, lights you up like a Christmas tree. I think Atlanta goes through Carolina like a case of salmonella.
Listen, the Falcons, since Matt Ryan has come to town, 46-19 straight up in his starts. Falcons, very impressive because they came off a short week, the Monday night home game against Denver, traveled cross-country, and just dominated the Chargers in that game. And Ryan, for the season's completing 72% of his passes already. They held a Chargers team that has Phillip Rivers and a pretty decent offense to 280 total yards in that contest. You're right, the Panthers had no pass rush. It's why Eli Manning, despite missing 2 of his top 3 wide receivers, despite missing his top running back, just shredded that secondary. Their linebacker play was awful as well. Atlanta is 10-4-1 against the spread its last 15 games at home. They've won and covered 4 straight in this series. And listen, with Cam Newton, 2 matches against the Falcons last year, 5 interceptions, only 54% completions. They are not giving him any ground support with D'Angelo Williams or Jonathan Stewart. They're basically letting Newton do everything. You don't win that way in college football. Maybe in the Big 12, but not, I'm sorry, in the NFL. You don't win that way, though, in the pros. It works in college. It's not going to work here. I agree with you. You got to go with a Falcons team averaging 31 points a game this season so far. San Francisco and the New York Jets, the 49ers looking to rebound after a loss at Minnesota. They decided to stay in Youngstown, Ohio, rather than travel back to the West Coast, fly back to the East Coast. They did the same thing last year, and it worked as they rallied from a big deficit to win at Philadelphia. I think Magic does strike twice here, and history repeats itself because the Jets, I mean, they were fortunate, lucky, extremely lucky to win 23-20 in overtime at Miami last week.
Yeah, I mean, for me, the Jets analysis remains the same. Again, week in and week out, this is a team built to beat mediocrity, can't beat an elite team, had their problems with Pittsburgh for obvious reasons. They're going to have their problems with San Francisco. Again, I look at this line, it opened up 3.5, it's at 4 now. It should be 6.5. I don't get it. I'm taking San Francisco here.
Yeah, 2 weeks ago, everybody was ready to anoint the 49ers as a Super Bowl champion, and now suddenly they're only a 4-point favorite against a Jets team that barely wins at Miami, gets hammered at Pittsburgh, and has covered just three of its last 11 line games.
And
Go figure.
Their best player. By the way, the countdown to Tim Tebow has begun. The Jets got about 3 more hard games left. They'll let Sanchez complete those. Then they'll bring Tebow in to win 6 easy ones, and he'll get all the press.
Well, I think the Jets lose this one. I think they lose next week against Houston at home as well. Darrelle Revis, your best player, as you noted, out. And I think San Francisco rolls in this contest. Guys, before we go any further, let me just remind you, you can save $20 off a single purchase today by simply using this coupon code when prompted in your shopping cart. And that is week 4. Doesn't get any easier than that, guys. W-E-E-K and the number 4. Yeah, it really was a stretch. Had the rest really think hard about this one. Week 4, W-E-E-K, and the number 4, no space between week and 4. You enter that when prompted, guys, and you will save $20 off a single purchase today. Remember, not just on this show, but check out my daily video reports every single day, because not only do I have free picks backed up by in-depth analysis, but also various money-saving discount coupon codes, special $5 play of the week promotions, the charity play of the week, free trial offers, all for free on my daily video report. Final game of this particular segment, Steve, is going to be San Diego and Kansas City. Chargers opened up at 1. It's pretty much pick 'em here everywhere. Chargers, as we noted, coming off the home loss to Atlanta. Kansas City rallying from a double-digit deficit to win at New Orleans, but that doesn't say much. You got 500 yards on the offense against that Saints defense.
Well, here's the 4-1-1. North Turner now 4-11 against the spread. When he's playing as a road favorite in the first half of the season. They got off to a quick start this year, back to their old tricks again last week. I think we'll see more of the same this week. I like Kansas City at home.
I agree with you. Listen, Kansas City has won the last 2 at home in this series, and this Chargers team did nothing against the Falcons, and that was playing at home. They don't have a consistent running game. Ryan Matthews really not into form yet. Kansas City has covered 5 of the last 6 in the series. I think the Chiefs are the play as well. Guys, this concludes part 1 of today's program. We're coming back. First game out of the box, Arizona and Miami, and more. We're going to get to the Eagles-Giants as well in just a moment. How would you like to save $20 off today, a single purchase? That's right, $20 savings. Guys, it's really easy. All you've got to do is use the coupon code you see at the bottom of the screen. And how easy is this one? Week 4. W-E-E-K and the number 4 will save you $20 off a single purchase today. And keep in mind, guys, I am always 7 days a week giving you some type of money-saving discount coupon code, the $5 play of the week promotion, the charity play of the week, free trial offers. I'm always giving you something on my daily video report, in addition to free picks and in-depth analysis, unlike anything you'll find in the industry. Guys, Al DeMarco here, general manager of the site. Listen, I've been a professional sports handicapper for 25 years. I know what I'm doing. I've won 9 of the last 10 years in football. Get my free picks and take advantage of the money I'm giving to you for free. $20 off a single purchase today simply by using the coupon code when prompted in your shopping cart. And again, you see it at the bottom of the screen. Week 4, save money now. Guys, how would you like to get all the best bets of all the handicappers here at PickNation.com today absolutely free? Too hard to believe, but in reality, guys, free really does mean free. 1 day free trial of the All Access Pass. You are getting all the plays from 10 handicappers, all their analysis today for free It's a $600-700 value. My best bet, Steve Buden's Baltimore Crew going for their 5th consecutive 50-dime winner this year, 41-19 with these plays over the past 5 years. They've made a $10 better, over $10,000 net in that period, and you're going to get those plays, all the plays of all the handicappers for free. Steve, the All-Access Pass, unique to our site, picknation.com. Nobody else in the business would ever even consider doing something like this.
That's right. We do it. Nobody else does it. The reason is simple. Every other company, they don't want you to see what's behind their back door. Us, on the other hand, we want to give you everything. We want to open everything up to you. It's our gamble that you'll come, you'll see everything, you'll love it, and you'll continue to come back forevermore.
Guys, and really, there are no strings attached. And I understand so many of you out there are hesitant because you're thinking to yourself, oh, I've heard these guys screaming and yelling on TV the last 20 years, absolutely free, absolutely free, and then you get nothing. That's not the case, guys. We're a 100% online business. What you see is what you get at picknation.com. We're telling you, you come to the site, you click on the ad, the one-day all-access pass for free, and within seconds, you're going to get my best bet, Steve's Baltimore Crew's best bet, all the plays of all 10, 11 handicappers here at the site for free. And you can do the math. It's $600-700 of action for free, no strings attached, because we're convinced we put together the greatest group of consistently winning handicappers in the business.
This is the best deal on the net. It's the All-Access Pass. Just come to our site, click on it. It's very easy. It's absolutely free. Get it now.
Welcome back, everyone, to part 2 of the Countdown to Kickoff program, the only nationally televised show to break down all your NFL games from a point spread perspective. Al DeMarco here along with Steve Buden. First game out of the box for our final segment, Arizona hosting Miami. Cardinals laying 6.5 points in this contest. They dominated. I mean, totally dominated Philadelphia. As I told you, I thought it was a bad game for the Eagles last week here on the program. Cardinals dominated, rolled 27-6. That defense held a good Eagles offense to just 308 yards in that contest. That's 163 yards under what Philly had averaged in its first 2 games against Baltimore and Cleveland to open the season. And Kevin Cobb, a guy who didn't
finally got it together. Well,
he didn't even have a job a couple weeks ago. Then John Skelton gets injured in the opener. He leads them to the comeback win, leads them to the win at New England, 17-24, 222 yards and 2 touchdowns last week. But really, this is the defense for Arizona, which is so underrated. That's the key to this contest.
Agreed 100%. They stuffed Tom Brady. They completely destroyed Michael Vick. If I was Ryan Tannehill right now, I'd feel about as comfortable as Mitt Romney in a soup kitchen. Not a good game for Miami. Let's go with Arizona here.
Yeah, absolutely. Listen, the Cardinals have won 10 of their last 12 straight up. They've covered 10 of their last 13 games as well. And think about it. They have held the Eagles and the Patriots, 2 of the most prolific offenses and diverse offenses in the NFL, to a total of 24 points the past 2 weeks. So very impressive. Of course, it is only the 3rd time in 3.5 years Arizona's been laying more than 3.5 points. But then again, Arizona in those past 3.5 years wasn't any good. This is a good Cardinals team. And you're right, Tannehill's going to struggle not only against an aggressive defense that put the pressure on Vick and Brady the past 2 weeks, but that Arizona secondary is one of the best in the business. And Tannehill is just a rookie making his 4th start, and this is going to be his downfall. Cheap, cheap price for Arizona.
And when you get a rookie that loses his confidence early in a game, it could get very ugly. I think that's what's in store for Miami here.
Well, the next game is going to be Denver, losers of 2 straight, taking on Oakland. The Raiders coming off the upset at home against Pittsburgh. Which way are we going to go? We'll talk about that in a moment. But first, guys, brand new contest with DraftStreet.com. Brand new prize pool, guys. $500 at stake with the free contest. And, of course, it's $500 of my money. And here's the deal for you guys. The winner, you are guaranteed to win $300 of my money, unless I beat you. And the top 4 runner-ups, you're splitting a $200 prize pool. And the best thing of all with DraftStreet.com, it's a free entry to our contest.
Everyone's been excited about this contest ever since we launched it a few years back. But the big deal now is we're giving away more money than we ever gave before. $300 used to be split among 7 to 15 people. Now the winner gets a guaranteed $300. If you don't play this contest, you're crazy.
Guys, it's an easy contest to do. You've got until 1 o'clock Eastern time here today to finalize your rosters. You've got a $100,000 salary cap. And as general manager, you've got to pick a couple of quarterbacks, a couple of running backs, a couple of wide receivers, a tight end. You draft your team. And again, your incentive, $300 of my money to the winner unless I beat you. And Another $200 split among the top 4 runner-ups. Last week we had a guy, had a great draft. The screen name he used was AKAC Dub. He won the contest with 184 total points, thanks in part to having Robert Griffin III as one of his quarterbacks, Matthew Stafford as another quarterback, and 2 running backs, Michael Bush and Jamal Charles, who both had monster games for their respective teams. He won it with offense last week. Check it out. Free entry, draftstreet.com. If you're watching the video here on the website, just click on the ads, guys, and start putting together your teams and take a shot at winning my money. It's a free entry, and the best thing of all, it's instant gratification.
Which I love, because the one beef that we used to have all the time with fantasy football is who wants to wait all year to make money? Now with draftstreet.com, it's week to week with the free contest. You can't lose, you can only win.
Okay, guys, next game is going to be Denver and Oakland. Problems I pointed out last week with the Broncos. Slow starts. They had a slow start with the offense in the first half against Pittsburgh at home. They did have the big fourth quarter and they won. Slow first half at Atlanta. Slow first half last week against Houston before they got 2 meaningless touchdowns after trailing 31-11 late in the fourth quarter to make it a respectable final score. I've said it all along, until Peyton gets more acclimated, more familiar with his receivers, they're going to struggle out of the box. But I think it's even more important, forget about establishing the run. You've got to let Peyton come out, find his rhythm. You've got to be aggressive and take to the air early, I think, for the Broncos. And I think you have the perfect opponent in the Oakland Raiders who, forget about they beat a bad, I'm saying bad, Pittsburgh Steelers team because they're injury-riddled, okay? They beat them in a must-win situation. They play no defense.
Oh, absolutely. Look, for me, I talked about it earlier, how these elite quarterbacks have all gotten off to a slow start. With Peyton Manning, you have to ask yourself, coming off the injury, coming into the preseason, they used him a very limited amount. They didn't want him getting hit in preseason. Did that hurt him coming into the year? Or all these quarterbacks not getting enough snaps in the preseason so they're not developing their timing, they're not developing their rhythm? And what we're seeing is in the first couple of weeks of the season, that's actually like the preseason for these quarterbacks. So I'm expecting now in week 4 for Peyton Manning to be ready, for him to be his timing to be improved. I think he's going to have a breakout game this game. I like Denver minus the wood here.
I agree with you as well. And listen, guys, you look at that 34-31 win by Oakland, an upset against the Steelers last week. But keep in mind, Steelers shot themselves in the foot repeatedly. 10 penalties, 4 fumbles, an interception by Roethlisberger. They gave the game to the silver and black. Oakland's allowing 29.3 points per game this season. Steve, next game, Green Bay and New Orleans. Packers getting screwed on Monday night, as I alluded to at the beginning of the show. The Saints, who would have thunk that they'd be 0-3 here coming into this game. We remember what happened last year in the first game of the season. That was then. This is now. Packers offense still looking to gel, have not played well, haven't been able to establish a ground game. Drew Brees has not played well, and the New Orleans defense is pathetic. They gave up 510 yards to Kansas City last week. They're giving up 34 points a game and 479 yards a game through the first 3 losses this season.
Yeah, I mean, the Saints are staring 0-4 in the face, and just when you thought things couldn't get worse, they got to go into Green Bay. And oddly enough, Green Bay minus 7.5. I love this line. I love this game. The last couple of weeks, Green Bay under 7 points. I was nervous as hell for some reason. I don't get it. Now, I think this is the right line. I think Green Bay comes in here. I think they win easy. I like Green Bay minus the 7.5.
And listen, Green Bay struggled in their opener against probably, I think, the best defense in the NFL with San Francisco. Definitely. When the 49ers jumped out to the big early lead through 3 quarters. But then they took on Chicago. You saw what they did to Jay Cutler with the 7 sacks to 4 interceptions. You saw how, even though they only sacked Russell Wilson once at Seattle, against a very good Seattle defense in a tough place to play, Green Bay shoulda, coulda, and woulda won the game if not for that horrible call. The offensive line for the Packers hasn't given Aaron Rodgers any protection. 8 sacks last week, but I don't think New Orleans with that defense has any hope of getting to Rodgers. I think he rolls here, and the Packers do as well. Before we get to what may be the best game here on the Sunday card, the Giants-Eagles Sunday night game. Remember, guys, you can save $20 off a single purchase today simply by using this coupon code WEEK4, W-E-E-K, and the number 4. No space, guys, between week and the number 4. Week WEEK4. You enter that when prompted in your shopping cart, and you will save $20 off a single purchase today at the site for any of the handicappers. Your call. Matter of fact, you might want to check out Steve Buden's Baltimore crew, going for their 5th consecutive 50-dime winner, #1 NFL crew the past 5 years with a 41-19 record. So $20 off. Remember, you can get money-saving discount coupon codes, special promotions, special free trial offers simply by watching my daily video report on a daily basis, where I also give you free picks, all backed by in-depth analysis. A lot of guys in this business don't care about the free picks. I use them as marketing and advertising tools. Guys, I win a hell of a lot of my free picks because I put a lot of thought into them, because I want you to win money as much as I want to win money as well. So check out the daily video report here on the site. The Eagles and the Giants, I'm kind of surprised by this line, Steve. The Eagles, a 2-point favorite at home. The road team won both games straight up last year. In the last 12 meetings between these two teams, you've had 10 upset wins, and you've got a Giants team with Eli Manning right now. They are humming offensively. It's not just the Carolina game, but I mean, the last 5 quarters, they have outscored their opponents 61-14, they being Tampa Bay at home and Carolina on the road.
Yeah, the contrast between these two quarterbacks couldn't be greater. Eli Manning doing everything he has to do to win, Michael Vick doing everything he has to do to lose. I know why the Eagles are favored here, because everyone's thinking, they look at the Eagles on paper and they figure out at some point these guys have to have a breakout game. It might as well be this week. But if you're waiting for the Eagles to have a breakout game, it's like waiting to meet Santa Claus. It's never going to happen. I like the Giants here. I'm taking them plus the points.
And listen, the Giants, you know, it's not just Eli Manning. I mean, and he's been phenomenal here, and he's got decent pass protection as well. But when you look at what he did at Carolina last week, considering Ahmad Bradshaw was out, so instead they plug in Andre Brown, 33 carries, 184 yards, 3 touchdowns after a huge game the week prior when they rallied at home against Tampa Bay. And I go back to that Tampa Bay game, and you see how the Buccaneers were in it. The Giants had to come back. Eli had a bad first half, 3 interceptions. They basically gave the Buccaneers all those points, but it's a tribute to their offense, to how they were able to come back in this one. And then again at Carolina, he got the job done without Hakeem Nicks, with 2 of his top 3 wide receivers out. So they plug in a rookie, Ramses Barden, 9 catches, 138 yards. And granted, the Eagles' defense is obviously better than Carolina's defense. And the Eagles have won and covered 7 of the last 8 in the series. But again, I think the Giants have covered 5 consecutive true road games. You don't count when they were the road team against the Jets playing on their own home field. And the Eagles have been a horrible play laying points, 4-10 against the spread the last 14, including 0-3 this year.
Yeah, very rarely do you get a quarterback who's a veteran and in the prime of his career. I think that's what we have with Eli Manning. I think that's why they're going to win this game.
And listen, the Eagles, 12 turnovers in 3 games, 9 of them by Michael Vick, and those 9 turnovers have resulted in 30 points for the opposition. Vick was sacked last week 5 times. He's playing behind a makeshift offensive line with a new starting center starting his 2nd game in the pros, a replacement starting left tackle filling in for a guy who was replacing the all-pro tackle at left tackle.
And he gave the ball up twice. He fumbled the ball twice.
Yeah, I mean, so, you know, last week Arizona blitzed Michael Vick on 24 of the 46 dropbacks he had, and he was 5 for 21 for 109 yards on those occasions. So that's it for this week's edition of the Countdown to Kickoff program. Remember, Week 4 saves you $20 off a single purchase. We will catch you again next week. For Steve Buden and Al DeMarco, we'll see you next Sunday.